tube is the spinning cylinder that a wave makes when it hits a shallow enough body of, ocean surface. And some universal, like, alchemy in there that whatever it is, you end up feeling insane after you get one.
Well, when you're dropping in and you know that you're behind the section and it's gonna barrel, right away your heart starts pounding.
I dream about it. I used to draw it in my school books. I used to just, watch slow-mo surf videos.
The holy grail, really, isn't it, of surfing? Getting spat out of a big tube, it's like being reborn again.
Well, when surfing a barrel, it's just like being on another planet. You're in a void, you're in a vacant space, basically.
Getting the perfect barrel is just, it's just what I live for, really.
Your toes, your fingers, everything you hang on with, going into the bowl inside section, it's just gnarly.
Driving, pumping through that thing and wanting to just get out of there, and as soon as you're out, you're like the biggest adrenaline rush. Such a rush. That's it. That's the pinnacle of surfing.
My name's Gary Kong Elkerton. I used to be a professional surfer for many years. Had the privilege of finishing 3 times #2 in the world, winning the Masters 3 years in a row, the World Masters Championships, and the first non-Hawaiian ever to win a Triple Crown, and I won 2 of those, so wrapped, yeah. A lot of young kids all want to go to Hawaii, and now is obviously everyone wants to prove themselves there. There's only one pipeline. There's one choker and there's one sunset, but pipe is just very unique, very intense, and I don't surf pipe anymore because it's too crowded. There's a million cameras on the beach and everybody wants to get their photo. And I was trying to say this year they should just let the guys who have won pipe, just let us go out and just have an hour on our own for the contest. That would be really cool. Pipeline is just, well, people die there. First of all, there's been quite a few that have died there, and I've lost a lot of bark there at Backdoor and at Pipe, and been pushed down in the holes. And anyone that surfs pipeline over amount of time, you just are going to have a running with the bottom. It's just what it is. But those days you walk down the beach at Pipe and it's just that clean west swell there. That's the west. It's got many faces, Pipe, but that west clean swell that hits at off the wall and just absolutely just rifles down Pipe Reef is just phenomenal. It's just amazing at 6 to 8 feet, and then you've got the second and the third reef that come into play when it gets a little bit bigger and it stands up, and then it makes it even more intense on the inside again, and it gets a bit bigger, and then you're trying to go out to the second reef, you can't quite get it, so by that stage, that inside section of Pipe is just, it's upside down takeoff stuff, it's just radical. It's a really intense barrel, that one. When you're on the foam ball, it's the most intense of all, I would say, for tube riding. And then it shows another face where you get the west and the north, and that's when Backdoor starts to come in, and it's quite funny, when I first started competing at the Pipe Masters, they wouldn't even look at Backdoor, the judges, and I would come in and go, it's actually heavier to go Backdoor than it is. So now it's kind of judged equally. Tom Carroll's still the best frontside surfer I've ever seen at Pipe. I don't think anyone's come close to him, even now, even any of the young kids. There's no one that day that he did that big hack out of the top, that's never been repeated by anyone, even on their 510s. So yeah, Tommy and obviously Derek Ho and Marvin Foster and Ronnie Burns was amazing at Pipeline. Always Lopez and Roy Russell and Jeff Crawford, Larry Blair, and all those sort of guys before me. And there's more, there's Rabbit, and there's Sean, there's Emma, and there's all those guys that I took a bit from what they were doing.
I think there's only one way to describe Pipeline, and that's terrifying. I mean, I'm really afraid every time I go out and surf it. I think what surfing Pipeline is all about is conquering the fear that you've got of the place.
What the new kids are doing now on shortboards, I don't know what to say. I'm speechless, I really am. I can't get my head around paddling into Pipe on a 6.2 at 10 feet. I just can't. It scares me thinking about it. Brucey Irons is amazing out there. Andy was too, obviously Kelly. My favourite surfer right now is John. And again, lives on the beach, surfs it every day, day in, day out. And that's proof that you really need to spend time in Hawaii to get it. We all went to Bali to surf the tube, It wasn't about doing, hitting the lip or cutbacks. It was about tube riding, You went to Bali to spend time in the tube and that was just, there was a lot of that. There was a lot of that at Ulus and Padang and down at Bingen. It was very uncrowded back then. I mean, I wish I could have seen it in the early 70s, but I got to taste that last bit of the uniqueness about Bali, which is lost now.
Yeah, the Mentawais brings people up here because surfers are always chasing adventure, new waves, and it's warm water, it's tropical. We're all drawn to that.
I think my first proper barrel would have had to have been at home on the coast, Foresters, my favourite wave, Banzai. It's such an exciting feeling. From there, and you're just hooked on it. Things could change. By the looks on the swell charts, it looks like there's a swell coming. So hopefully we're going to get what we see.
Our boat's the Nyata. It's just a little old Indonesian fishing boat, I believe it used to be, but it's pretty cool. It's because a lot of the other big boats, you got 10, 12 guys and draws a big crew.
Yeah, we've been cruising around for over a week now on this vessel, around about 7 knots. A couple of 100 kilometres we've travelled.
The best thing about this trip really is just being out there, just sharing some good times with the lads, just drinking beers and cruising around, relaxing, no worries in the world, just get away from the whole rat race thing and just forget about what's going on at home and, yeah, just kick back and soak it all up.
Yeah, it's crazy. Like, all our surfs have been so crowded by, half a dozen boats. This morning, we turned up at HT's and we're the only boat. And it was offshore.
Trees become cities from bones. We all stand alone and let these fools enthrone.
The waves, they're just, I don't know, just the contour of the reef, the coral reefs, it just makes the waves so perfect and it's just so clean. Normally you get the really light winds up here and HT's as a wave, like once it gets solid, it just comes in off the outside bubble and it'll roll through and then it hits like a double up bit and then runs through onto the cage and it's just a super round and yeah, pretty intense ride. One of the heavier waves up in the Mentawais that you can score when it's on.
You can see the colours drawing off the reef. It'll be all nice and blue, and you know you can just it's like a hum almost. Like you can hear the lip, you know, cracking, and my hair sometimes flows around in there. You're on the foam bowl, and when it spits, you know, mist past you. And it's just all so much going on in such a little confined space, and then when you come out, it's I don't know. I've been told there's like a lot of positive and negative ions get created inside the tube. I reckon it's a little secret fountain of youth that we've tapped into. It's pretty sick. New up-and-coming barrels, like I'd say John Florence, he's amazing because from 20-foot pipe, you know, wherever to 1 foot, he can ride barrels. Bruce Irons, a lot of the Hawaiian guys have been brought up in it. Dave Wassell, he's sick too. Chargers, but then you got, you know, Dino Morrison, Parko, Mick, Fanning, all the Goldie boys. Like Josh Kerr, I'd have to say is top 5, hands down. I'd have to just back all my mates in the Goldie, I reckon, because you know we're born and bred on just getting barrels. So yeah, stick us in the barrel, and we'll get it done.
Wishing for things never done. It's not too late to turn around. If I could turn back, if I could turn back the hands of time, would you change your mind?
Burleigh and Kira and the Gold Coast points for surfers are just freaks of nature. That it's amazing. Just really, they're just famous for having some of the most perfect barrels in the world. And because of that, you know, the sand bottom waves as well, point breaks, pretty reliable, pretty consistent, warm weather, warm water, and that pretty much ticks a lot of boxes for surfers the world over. I guess we'll say Kira too is just renowned the world over for having some of the longest barrels ever. Personally, my earliest memories of Kira is kind of the duels between Michael Peterson and Wayne Rabbit Bartholomew. And you know, those guys just going wave for wave, and, you know, MP's famous for whistling from deep, deep back in the tube and calling guys off or calling Rabbit off, and then Rabbit trying to get deeper than MP in the barrels at Kira. Mick Fanning, geez, who is that guy? He's a pretty good surfer. Yeah, Mick Fanning, you know, what a fantastic champion, and, you know, just an incredible surfer, two-time world champion, Gold Coast local, and I'm sure Mick really hates missing a good day at home because he travels so much. But I've watched Mick probably since he was about 15 or 16, back when he was, you know, in the junior series and touted as, you know, quite easily in the top 10 junior surfers in Australia. I've watched him in the World Junior titles at Phillip Island against Joel Parkinson in the final, and then seen him become a true champion and one of the most respectful, pleasant sort of guys to deal with in surfing. A triple barrel at Kira. I'm sure it's happened to a lot of people, but I'm sure not many people have had as good, deep, long tubes as Mick Fanning has out there, especially 3 on one wave. I think if you get one really good tube on a wave, you're stoked, and then you should probably come flying out of that one into the second section, going, here I go again. And then by the time, if you get a third barrel on the wave, normally you probably just slide off the end and don't even know what to do. You probably have this little mental overload, just wondering if anyone saw it and trying to take it all in yourself.
I saw that wave, and yeah, I just saw the wall on it, and I just thought, oh, this is going to be a good one if I can get moving. And the first one was pretty crazy, and then the second section was just like, oh, it's just dreamy and just so nice and blue. And then the third one was just sort of like I don't know, I think it was just like an extra little prize that you get at a fair.
Name's Mel Sutherland. I've virtually lived on the Gold Coast all my life. Kira Beach was basically my playground since I was 4 years of age. Started surfing on surfer planes when I was 6. Bought my first 16-foot toothpick or hollow board when I was 13. Had 2 of them, and then when the Americans came to Australia for the Olympic Games, got straight on to what was called the Okanuis then, which were hollow 10-foot Malibu type boards. Then went from there to balsa, from balsa to foam, and the rest's history. The first time I got barreled was by accident, and it would have been on Kira Point because that was my home turf. And yeah, you can still remember it clearly, looking down the line at Kira and seeing the wave turn inside out in front of you. Obviously at that point in time and the equipment we had, you never ever made it, but it was still a good feeling. Today I like Parko. I think Parko style's just unreal. There's a lot of longboarder in Parko. I just love the way he cruises. He does it so easily.
Kira's just a perfect cylinder, running barrel, just sandbank, just double up top to bottom. And some days you can get one and you just drop to the bottom and just pull up and just draw your line and just get locked in it. And you be just hooting in there, just wow.
My mama told me to be a gentleman. If I don't be, I spend my whole life alone. I agree for the most part, living alone will never bring you a broken heart. Couldn't speak my mind if I